Okay, and we are going live. You should start to see it on your screen. It'll be a little bit, and there we are. And good morning, everyone. It's Peg with Art Joy is Sharing. This is a live stream that we're doing weekly on Thursdays. If you haven't been with us before, I have my coffee and some books ready. And this morning, we have a guest. That would be Cindy Utter. And I'm going to switch over to Cindy because she has some wonderful stuff to show us. And we'll get started here. And if you're viewing this later, be sure and leave us some comments down below because we love to hear from you and what your thoughts are. And, let us know what kind of content you'd like to see on the channel because, yeah, we're here for you. So good morning, Cindy. How are you?
Good morning, Peg. I'm doing well, only I can't see the stream on my iPad.
Oh, no.
No worries. No worries.
Can you bring up another screen?
That's what I'm going to have to try to do. So bear with me for a second, everybody. Hello. My first time going live on YouTube, so.
Yay. Well, we have 6 watching. And if you're on an iPad, you may want to scroll down to the bottom of your screen, folks, and get the chat because there will be a chat over on the right-hand side. There's Carol. Good morning, Carol. And Ian is here. We're glad to see you guys. Always happy to have our friends join us.
Absolutely. And now I'm just getting a... There we are. Nope, there we're not. Huh. Interesting.
Have our friends join us. Okay, so you're going to have to turn your sound off.
Yep. I just have to do that now. Hang on. Settings. Where's my
Hi, B. Sybil's here.
Bear with me, guys.
Just give us a minute here. She's having a little bit of difficulty over there, but we'll get it sorted and be right at it. So today, what we're going to work on is what Cindy is really good at, and I know nothing about, which is glue books. And for those of you who have done glue books, I applaud you because it's just...
They're so much fun.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to turn it over to Cindy, and she's got some stuff to show you.
All right, guys. And I think I'm working. We're back. It's all good. Okay, what I'm going to do today, Peg, is I'm going to show you how to create one of these little beauties.
Yay.
These are just little journals that either I made or Gina has made or I've received in Happy Mail. I'm going to show you some other examples, but this is a completed glue book. And I love them because there's really no rhyme nor reason. There's no theme to them. It's just glue and paper. Yeah, and some markers thrown in here and there. So I really hope you guys enjoy this. I love doing them. I use these on my pain management days. When I have pain management, I actually have a tote, and I've brought all my stuff from my tote here to show you. And this is what I work on. So this is what we're going to be creating.
Yay. Now, they're beautiful, and I really want to do that. I love when you tell me a little bit of the history behind this. Tell me how you got started doing this.
Well, I live in chronic pain. So what I do is I actually have what I call pain management days. And when I have my pain management days, I'm on the couch. I've tried bringing out my videotape or my tape recorder. Yeah, tape recorder, boy, that's an old word. I've tried bringing out my camcorder and paints and stencils and everything, and it's really difficult to do that kind of art on the couch. So I started, the idea started when I had a bunch of scrapbook scraps that I didn't know what to do with. So I started sticking them down in books. And then I thought to myself, what am I going to do with the rest of this? Well, I started adding more and more and more to them, and they became these little journals. So I actually have it set out now, so I have a process on how to make these journals, and I'm going to show you a bunch of journals that are in the process because I don't have just one of these going. I have at least, right now there's 4 on my desk here. So every time I go on the couch, I make sure I have my little tote there and turn on Netflix and do grab and glue. I want to tell you, Peg, where the name came from, though.
Okay. Well, let me just interject a little something
Mhm.
here. I just put your Facebook group up for Art Play Through Chronic Pain. So if there are any people out there who are sufferers, whatever is your issue, come join Cindy's group, because there's a lot of people that you can share and relate with there.
Yeah, yeah. It's, chronic pain it's such a difficult subject, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. And I found that out when I ended up living this life, that people don't talk about it. And I want to have that safe place where people can come in, they can use the art, they can talk about their chronic pain. It's a safe place. If you're having a bad day, you know, put a note in there, man, I'm having a really bad day. And we've got people that will support you, and people that will, try to lift your spirits up a little bit. And I'll tell you, I wish I'd have had that 5 years ago when I started this journey, and I didn't.
Right.
So that's where that group came from. And that's my goal for that group, is just to be a good, supportive art/chronic pain group.
Right. And speaking of groups, Art Joy is Sharing live stream has a group also on Facebook. And this month we are having a daily challenge for art journaling. So be sure and check that out also. If Ian or somebody wants to, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, that's fun. I was gonna do Inktober, and some reason I didn't get around to it. But I did start doing the art journal daily habit. That's gonna be fun.
Well, I'm just trying to continue in that vein, because I did do kind of my version of Inktober, because Shell had that thing with the witches, and then we did that, and now we're moving on to the next thing. So
There you go.
it's just keeping the habit going, trying to continue in that same vein and keep us working at our art.
Well, that, and you know what, Peg, I think it also helps. I like to just play. I am not a professional artist. I'm not a realist artist. I enjoy playing. And I think that daily play also helps with the chronic pain. It gives me
Yes.
something to look forward to every day.
Yes, absolutely. And I totally agree with that, because it takes your mind off of your body. It's kind of the out of body experience. And
Exactly.
that's why I do a lot of what I do.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome. I love my art. So
Okay, so tell me what it was you wanted to tell me about this whole process.
okay, what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna lay these aside. I'm gonna show you first of all the kind of books that you can use. You don't have to go out and spend a ton of money on a journal. No way. These are all just magazines that I've got. This is a Target ad. Okay, it's got great sturdy paper. This I saved out of the trash because it's going to become a glue book. This is a Lush. Well, actually, this is the older Lush ad, which is a Bath and Body products. I love their bath bombs, by the way. They're so good.
Who doesn't love bath bombs?
Right? I told Jess the next house we're in, I want a clawfoot tub because I want to down in the bathtub. Where did this come from? It's the Nespresso Club, Introduction to the Art of Espresso. I have no idea. I probably picked it up somewhere. It was a free booklet all about coffee.
Yay, I like the price tag.
Yeah, exactly. Free. These are all, I don't purchase any of this stuff.
Well, so, and as you guys are going in and out of the grocery store and you see all that free literature.
Oh yeah. Grab it up. Grab it up. I'm just reading the comments real quick. And Gina, first of all, Liz, thank you. And definitely check out my group. We're there to support everybody. Gina said these ads are also good for getting images and words out of, and that's very true.
Oh, yeah.
just look at this one. You can actually cut out all of these images. I won't be. I will most likely be using this as a grab and glue book because I have tons and tons of images, but that's a good point.
But I love those images. They are cool.
Aren't they awesome?
Yeah.
This is
I'm
the
a coffee
newest.
hound, so there you go.
Exactly. This is the newest Lush ad. They've changed it, which is cool. So now I'll have a tall blue book and I'll have a square blue book, rectangle.
Yeah.
So
might as well. You know, you've done the other one. You might as well do something different.
oh, absolutely. So like I said, this stuff is all free. Now, these are things, and some people on here might recognize these. This one is actually from Mary Abrams. This was a journal that she sent to me a while back. I sent her some painted papers. So this is going to be turning into a grab and glue book. Right now it's been a paint wipe off book, and I will eventually bring this over into the grab and glue. So, you know, that's a little journal that Mary sent, and I believe she made this out of a grocery bag. And then, of course, just, you know, random papers.
What a fun idea.
You know, nothing crazy. So that's one that I'll be using. This is a journal that someone had sent to me a while ago, probably in a Happy Mail. So again, same thing. I'll be turning this into a grab and glue. It's got envelopes. It's got a little bit of everything in it. This is index cards, like for the Rolodex index cards. And
Yeah.
I took it and I made a book out of it. Index card, old magazine, wood clips, red and green glitter. I don't know. You know, all the packaging that we have.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know. Something came in here. But yeah, so this will be turned into a grab and glue. And last but not least, this is just a thrown together small journal that I used up some scrap papers on. And I just wanted to bring these out to give you ideas that you don't have to go out and buy a brand new journal. Use what you have, and you can create these little pieces of artwork.
Absolutely. We all have stuff laying around.
Absolutely. So let me move those.
So what I grabbed this morning, let me show you. I have this book, and I just grabbed it off the shelf because it's something I'm not using. And what I did is I started to tear some of the pages out to give it more space so that it can fill up a little bit. So I think this is the book I'm going to work in. Okay. And then I have another magazine. This is a black art material book that they sent me. And because I get messy with my glue, I'm going to use this to do my gluing on. And I can turn the page, and then I'm not going to be stuck to everything.
That's a good idea. And you can also, when you use that page to glue on, you can just glue two pages together to give it a little bit thicker paper if you need to.
Very cool.
So,
okay.
All right. Next thing I'm going to show you real quick before we get into the grab and glue is the in process. I always have grab and glue books. Oh, I want to tell you the story about the grab and glue, how we got the name.
Yeah.
We can thank Gina for the name.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why is we were in Arizona for the CHA last January, and we were back to the hotel at night, and she's on one side of the table doing her artwork, and I'm on the other side doing mine. And what I brought with me is I always travel with a little bag like this. And what it is it's full of grab and glue things. And I'll go through this in a minute. But I'm sitting there and I'm working on one of my grab and glue books. And I actually think it was this one. And Gina's looking at me and she just kind of gets this weird look. She's like, what are you doing? And I told her, I said, I'm just grabbing stuff and gluing it in, making a little art journal. And she was intrigued by it. So she's like, you do grab and glue. I'm like, yeah, that's a better name for what I call it. So yeah, the name came from Gina.
Perfect.
She termed it the grab and glue.
Yes.
So that's where we're at. All right. These are all different grab and glue journals that I have in process right now. So I'm going to start with this one. This one is a Real Simple magazine. If any of you guys follow my channel, you will see that I did a challenge to take a magazine and go through and cover up all your pages with scraps. That was in September. No, that was in August. In September, I did a challenge, and I actually showed you how to do a grab and glue page from start to finish.
Yeah, and I'll try, when we finish here, I'll try to find that video and put a link in the description for that so that people can find it.
Yeah, it was either August and September or September and October. I'm not positive which.
Okay.
But so this is one of them that's in process. Okay. Here's another one just in different stages. Some of them have more bits on them. Some of them don't. So that's just another book that I have in process. One here. This one this one's at the very beginning, because if you notice, there's not a lot of stuff glued down. There's just bits and pieces. So this one is in the very beginning stages of a grab and glue. So there's that one. Then I have this one. This one I'm actually starting to do more of the details and starting to complete some of the pages. And I'll show you the different steps that we go through to complete them. And this goes on into finalizing that book.
Okay.
So, would you like to start?
Absolutely. Tell me where to go.
All right.
In a nice way.
First, well, now, Peg, no. The first thing we're going to do is I've got this grab and glue book, and like I said, this one I've started doing the pages on, but they're not all complete. So we're going to grab our page. We're going to open up our drawer of large scraps. And when I talk about large scraps, this is what I'm talking about. Just scraps. It can be anything from placemats to scrapbook paper, whatever the case may be, right? So we're going to open up our scrap drawer. I got a room for it here. And I'm just going to start gluing stuff down.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
And it is exactly what it says it is. I do not skimp on the glue because I want this stuff to stay down.
So I noticed your technique, you're starting by gluing the page first.
Yep, I glue the page and then I just put the stuff right on top. Now, you can do it either way, or you can do it the correct way, which is glue the page, glue the paper, and then put the two together.
Okay, so
I glue on the page.
If you're telling me if you really want it to stick, you glue both front and back and stick them together. And if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to be back here again, I can glue the edges down later, then you just kind of get it on, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep. So I am just getting it on because I will be working in this book so often that should any of the edges come up, I'll just glue them down when I'm working on the pages. Now, one thing I do make sure that I do when I do my grab and glues is you can use a credit card, you can use a scraper, you can use whatever you want. I make sure that they're actually down. I usually don't have much problems with stuff coming back up once I've glued it down. And I think this is the reason why.
Hey, and tell me about the glue. Tell me what choices you're using for those.
Okay, I'm using just plain old Elmer's glue stick. You can use any glue stick you have on hand. I don't use the matte medium because, again, think about where the origins of this came from. I'm sitting on the couch. So the easiest thing for me to use is glue sticks. You can use Elmer's, you can use No Name, you can use the, what is it, Yoo-hoo?
Yeah, that's what I'm using.
Yeah, anything like that. I don't use liquid glue, again, because I'm on the couch when I'm doing this normally.
Well, and the other thing about liquid glue is how much it curls paper. So if you're working on a project like this, I would say that a drier adhesive is going to do better for you.
Yeah, I agree. And again, it's for me, it's about the convenience of being able to sit on the couch and glue. Do my hands get gluey? Yeah, sometimes they do. And then I just use them. I just use a rag that I have on hand just to wipe my hands off. But I just put that a little bit over.
Yeah, I save my old shirts and things or towels or whatever I have. And I mean, there are things that you can toss in the laundry and recycle. And
Mm-hmm.
um, so it saves on all of those papers that you would be tossing in the trash.
Exactly. All right.
Michael Ann says she loves Elmer's glue sticks. That's purple. Ruth says, great topic today. Uh, Gina says, less thinking, more grabbing and gluing. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's something I don't do. I don't sit and say, "Oh, geez, will this color go with this?" It doesn't matter. I just grab what looks good, what I decide wants to be on that, you know,
Yeah.
piece of paper, whatever I grab. Okay, so I grab this one. All right, let's take a little bit of that and throw it down here. Why not? And again, it's about several things. One, taking my mind off the pain. Two, doing something creative. And just arting, having fun.
Yeah. It's all
I mean,
about having fun.
why not have fun?
Why not? That's my
There's
motto.
I'm just trying to get some different papers. I got all the stuff stuck up here on top. It's all about just enjoying the process. I know a lot of people, I was going to say artists, but I'm going to say a lot of people that start in the creative world, they first of all they're thinking, well, I'm not good enough. It's not mine isn't
Right.
as good as yours.
Yeah,
Um,
and don't compare yourselves.
no,
Absolutely not. That's why we have groups like Art Joy is Sharing, because it's a non-judgmental group. We're not there to say, oh, that's ugly. We're there to support one another. And when you have legitimate questions and need some help, we want to be there for you. So, um,
exactly. And that doesn't mean that you can't ask questions. That doesn't mean that you can't pick our brains. I say our. The only reason I say our is because I've been doing this long enough now so that I have a pretty good feel as to what, some of the well-trained artists would say.
well, and honestly, when we say that, what we're talking about are classically trained artists.
Exactly.
I am not a classically trained artist. I am a self-taught individual, and I learn by doing.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
So, I'm not here to preach. I'm here to share whatever bits and pieces of knowledge I have.
Exactly. And I'm the same way. I mean, maybe if I don't, first of all, it's funny. When I first started one of my jobs and I was a manager of people, the first thing I said to them, because we were all new at the position, I said, if I don't know the answer, you can still ask the question. I'll get you an answer.
Yeah.
It's not, look at this. That's a drop paper. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Not a drop paper. That's what I used to stick in between one of my journals. Huh. Looks like good glue fodder to me.
Yeah.
It
So
works.
I am finding as I work through here, because I'm just starting to
Isn't it fun?
glue this stuff down. Yeah, I like doing this, and I'm thinking, yeah, I can. What I did is I just got myself a new table set up beside my recliner
Mm-hmm.
um, that has a place where I could actually store some papers
Mm-hmm.
and a drawer to keep some pens and things like that in.
Yep.
And it's right there beside my chair. So this is going to be great because it'll give me something to do while the tube is running.
You right. And you can still be creative, yet not have to have the mess of being creative.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the whole glue stick part. However, I do have some papers, some what do you call those? Deli papers that I'm
Mm-hmm.
sticking in between the pages because I'm a messy gluer.
Yeah, yeah. You might have to do that. And sometimes like right here on the seam of mine, all right, the glue, I didn't stick it all the way down in the papers. So I may take a thing of masking tape and just run it down the spine just because.
Uh-huh.
B made the comment, a classical trained artist doesn't mean a good artist, and that is very true.
Yeah. And Barb's asking me what book I'm using. This is an old Curves on the Go book. I don't know, something I picked up from one of those secondhand stores or something. I read through it, and it has absolutely no pictures.
So that was a quick read.
So it's like I can't even cut anything out of this. I'm gluing stuff down.
There you go. Gina also made a comment that this is a good practice for working through mental or physical pain, and that's very true.
Yeah.
Because really, I'm not thinking, so the pain is not the pain is not putting me in a certain spot or making it difficult for me to think about what I'm doing. I don't have
We'll
to think.
recommend that you get up and move after a couple hours.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you do have to get up and move. Now, I do,
Jacks.
you can go over the edges on your pages, but then you just have to cut around them. So I try not to do that. This one I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm
just
finding that right now. I'm leaving a border. I don't care, you know, because
it doesn't matter.
it's my book. I can do it my way, right?
Exactly. And there is no right way and there's no wrong way. It's just however you feel like putting it down and playing.
Yeah.
What is this? Oh, oh, look, this is a book that came from, oops, it's got bad words on it.
Oh, bleep, bleep, bleep.
Right? I need that little cheat, cheat, cheat. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Good thing I caught that. This is an old magazine that I got from West Coast Choppers.
Yeah.
And you can see I've already done gluing on it.
Yeah.
So again, this was a free thing that I picked up when I was out there. I bring it home and I glue stuff on it. And then I usually use these to like make postcards or that kind of stuff in. So I'm going to use it today in this, minus the bad words. Oops. Sorry, guys.
Okay, I'll have to mark this one sensitive for children.
If they caught that word quick enough. I don't know if they did or not. You guys will have to let me know if you caught that word. I hope you didn't. Oh, Barb says your sleight of hand worked. We didn't see it.
Yay. Yeah, well, I do have an editor, but I didn't really want to have to go back and do that later, so.
You're right. That'd be a pain in the butt. You know, I wish I could find, I want somebody that I could just send all my videos to.
Yeah.
They could edit them for me. Anybody out there wants to volunteer, let me know. All right. I did get out my masking tape, and this is just a decorative masking tape, and I just felt like doing that to the spine, so I did it.
Oh, you know what?
You know what? I got leftover.
Washi tape's allowed, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be doing washi tape. We'll be doing.
Well, because I got a sticky spot here, I think I'll just stick some washi tape on it. How's that?
There you go.
Oh.
Again, there's no right, no wrong. There's just you grab, you glue, and you have fun. Let me move these guys out of the way. All right. So that's our first step, is all the big papers.
Gina wants an editor also. I think we all want one.
We need to find somebody.
Yeah, well, really good luck with that one.
You can tell I've been doing this for a while. These pages are ready with their first layer.
Yes, you have.
It's just, you know, it's fun.
Well, I just thought it was a really interesting concept to get your background without having to get all painty and, you know, because not everybody has the space or the, you know, a lot of us started out as card makers or scrapbookers, and we've got a lot of different fodder for making art.
Absolutely.
But not necessarily all of those different products that we are showcasing. So this is a good way to use what you already have.
Use what you have and use up those scraps. because, you know, what am I going to do with a placemat? I don't want that to be a focal point on my next journal. So it's a scrap. These are all scraps that I put in here.
Right.
I do have a lot of scrapbooking paper. Thank goodness. Oh, I sent a huge load out of here the other day to my sister. She was so thrilled. And I'm like, it's all yours. She's like, oh my God, go for it. Take it. So
Yeah.
a lot of this that's in this previously was just scrapbook papers that I had pieces left over from.
Right.
So what a great way to use them up.
So once we get our initial layer down, what do we do next?
We are going to go to the next step. I classify them as large, medium, and small scraps.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to go to my medium scraps. Now, this is where I'm going to bring these in real quick to show you.
Good.
These are the packets that I have in my tote on my desk or on my couch, okay?
Mm-hmm.
These are my medium scraps. And when I say medium scraps, that's exactly what it is. It's just scraps. It might be backgrounds. It might be painted papers. It may be drop papers. It could be a set of steak with something green that looks nasty on it. You know, advertisements, driver's log, I have no idea. Music paper. So I try to keep this medium packet well stocked. And where I get it from is I actually have a drawer here in my studio. So we're going to be using the medium next. Then we're going to use these. So let's go, we'll do the medium next. So here's my packet. Just going to pull out some of my mediums. Now, what I'm trying to do here is I just want to break up some of the bigger pieces. Don't overthink it. Don't worry about if it goes or it doesn't go. Whoops, I already have one open. I just want to add more to the page. I don't want it to look like it's just one layer.
Okay.
So I'm going to start adding.
Okay.
So now we're adding our mediums. Does it make sense? Nope. Doesn't have to. It's just play, right?
Exactly.
Hopefully I don't have no bad words in this.
I have stolen from you.
You have?
Let me share this with people. Yes, I have. Well, that's what a good artist does, right? We steal
That's right.
an artist.
Exactly.
And so, you know, people are always worried about, oh, you know, that's somebody else's idea. Well, I have stolen from my good friend Cindy. And what she showed me were these binders. And she was keeping different ephemera and things in these binders. And I said, where did you get those? And she'd gone out to Staples. You can see this is a Staples little notebook. I think it's what, maybe 6 by 9 or something like that.
Yeah, they're really small.
And then these little Velcro containers to store this stuff in. And I thought, well, how cool is that? And so I started, you know, instead of keeping reams and volumes of stuff, I started sorting things out into these books, you know, so I have things to go on the top surface and rub-ons and all of that kind of stuff in here. And like she said, you have medium-sized things like this. So here's different cutouts and things that I have done from magazines. So I can just go in here and grab. And this is perfect for right beside my chair.
Absolutely.
You know, I can refill these books when I'm down in my studio and take these upstairs and put them beside my chair. So like I said, I stole this idea and I love it.
Good. I'm glad. I still have mine. For y'all. This is what she's talking about. This is one of mine, which this one's a little bit different than the one she's got, but it's got the same thing. The words, focal points, small pieces, medium pieces, and then this is tags and stuff. But I will take this one with me when I go on vacation, and if I want to do a grab and glue binder, I'll just take this one and throw it in my suitcase or luggage or whatever, and I'll use that.
That's a bigger
But
one. I
from
might have to get one like that.
yeah, that's definitely the higher one. But the packets, these bags, and I love these bags. Gina got them at Daiso. And Gina, do they make? I need one to hold like this kind of paper. So next time you go, check it out, would you?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I love these folders. They're nice and looking for.
Yeah,
They
I get
move.
some of those zipper binders like at Dick Blick.
Yep.
But I know there's other places that carry them. We don't have a Daiso here, but boy, all of that kind of stuff, if you're close to one, is great.
Yeah, we don't have one either. So it's funny. Every time I say to Gina, I'll be like, "Are you going to Daiso again?" She's like, "What do you need?" So she actually, we were talking on the phone the one day, and she says, "I'm sitting in front of Daiso." I'm like, "Oh, take me with you."
Yeah, I've done that. That's
So
great,
she
you know,
did
when you shop with friends.
exactly. I'm like, "Oh no, back up. What was that?" That's funny,
Uh,
but why not? You gotta enjoy life. All
well,
right. So again, what I'm doing now is I'm just doing bigger pieces, just kind of breaking it up so I don't have, a bunch of forks and spoons here. And I'm not really looking for color. I'm just flipping through and I'm seeing what speaks to me. All right, this looks good. Let's throw this on here. This is somebody's, I don't know, lipstick or something. Trying to break up those forks and
yeah,
spoons.
this is going to be the hard part for me because, you know, I'm a color girl, and
Mm-hmm.
to just not even look at it, that's difficult.
Yeah.
It's
Again,
kind of like the
it's the
journaling by
freedom.
five thing where you just throw anything down, and that was really difficult for me.
Was it?
No, I'm saying work with whatever, however work it speaks to you, because we all have our own methodology.
Absolutely.
If you have to be a little more organized, then be a little more organized. If it's okay with you to just, go for broke, then go for broke.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no right or wrong with this. That's what we're saying.
Absolutely. There definitely is no right or wrong. And it's all about using up stuff. And I was just looked at the comments real quick. And Gina made a comment that we all do it. If you start looking through all your die cuts and scraps and stuff, you always have those pieces of papers that never just seem right for a project.
Mm-hmm.
You're always flipping by them. Perfect for this project.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect to put in your grab and glue. Why not?
Why not?
Use it, get rid of it, and yet create something with it.
Right. I mean,
And
like right now, I'm using some printed paper that I had from, when you do these challenges. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. When I do this, I do look at color, and so I had this printed out from one of Mike Deacon's inspiration from August. Okay, but it's a piece of paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had this cool, like, top secret image with these different colors, and look at the colors on my page. So it just says to me, okay, Peg, you're the color queen. You got to put that on that page because look at that. I mean, I love that.
There you go. But
So,
see,
okay.
that's where you're thinking it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're overthinking it, but you're thinking it.
Yeah,
Now,
and I do, because I think of everything I do. So that's why I say this, just grabbing and gluing, is hard for me.
exactly. It's going to be more difficult for you, but I think if you work with the process of just grabbing what looks good and gluing it, you're going to find out that when you do your art, you're going to be more freeing on the coloring.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a possibility of learning,
Oh, yeah.
a different combination, or, you
Oh,
know.
yeah. Yeah. You know, because when you pull things out of the bin,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just like I pulled that out of the bin.
Yep.
And I'm saying, oh, you know, this is just trash, but oh, look at that. Look at that. It's like,
There you go. That's right. That's
yeah.
right. So that was step 2, which was medium things.
Barb says she thinks too, and she likes to nest colors. Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that, Barb.
We haven't had a chance to say hi to everybody. I don't know if I want to go back through and try to get all the names, but hi, everybody. We're so glad you're here.
Yeah, and people are still joining. You know, we have 24 viewers right now, and we're so appreciative of you being here. Lindy has joined us, so good morning, Lindy.
Hey, Lindy
Barb
girl.
Clark is here. Ian, of course, and Gina, and Michael Ann, and
Edwig Veal.
yeah, and trying to scroll back through here. Deborah,
Carolyn.
Diana, B, Ruth, Brenda, Candy's here. Hi, Candy. Candy and I are going to be traveling in about a week.
Woohoo! Where are you going?
St. Louis.
Oh, cool.
And let's see. I know there's more people up there, but moving on. So you know you're all in our thoughts, and we love that you're.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that was medium. What's next?
What do you think comes after medium? Small.
Small.
We're going to go to
Okay,
small.
so what are you using for small?
Scraps.
Small scraps. Okay.
Yep.
So it just gets smaller.
All right, so now we're going to go smaller. So this is my little pouch of smaller scraps. And again, I cut a lot of things out of magazines. You guys will probably think it's crazy, but like art journaling magazine, after I look at the magazine over and over and over again, I will sit down and start cutting stuff out. And when I do, or sale magazines that come along, I'll cut stuff out of. So a lot of this you'll see, that was rocks in some magazine. I don't know, cooking magazine or whatever, from an ad. That's where all these small bits come in. Here's the thing on an envelope that needs to go on there. So now I'll just start taking small pieces and start gluing them down.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we're going to work on small now. And again, it's not about the composition at this point. It really is not. It's just about gluing things down, using up scraps you have. I don't really want that on there. That's got to go out of that bag. This is some magazine. I don't know. These are actually a little bit bigger than I want. Let's go down smaller. So it's about layering. I know it's funny, when I first started doing this, I'm like, oh, that's all right. When I first started doing this, I was thinking to myself, what am I doing? I'm sitting there going, am I just wasting glue, or, you know, what am I doing?
You're doing great.
But it works. So we're just putting down small things. Then we actually start getting into creating the page, which is your final pages, which are really cool.
So up until this point, this is just, you know, you got 3 steps, and there's no thinking about it. Just
rhyme or reason.
Rhyme or reason, just put it down. Yep. And when you go to the 4th step is when you start actually composing.
Yeah, that's when we're actually going to start thinking a little bit more about what we're putting on the page.
Okay.
It's not going to be rocket science, but we are going to do a little bit of consideration on it.
Uh-huh.
That's the next step. We're actually going to be looking at focal points.
Okay.
And those I do try to, I'll show you. I don't
Yeah.
know how to explain it.
Well, and that's, yeah, I get that, because sometimes you just have to the reason I ask is because other people may not get it just by looking. Some people learn more by hearing.
Right.
So
We'll
I
try to
tend to,
explain. I'll try to explain it as I do it.
yeah, I tend to
Right.
over explain. So I get them really confused.
I hope I don't over explain.
So
I just know I enjoy doing this.
I have some text weight stuff that I'm using for my small.
Yep, I like it.
Because the stuff in the back was heavier because it was bigger pieces and I could put it down that way. But I'm
Mhm.
finding as I work up to other layers, I want something a lighter weight.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I
And
didn't
you
know if it
know,
was just me or not.
no, if you're going to use something like a heavy chipboard, you're going to want to use something besides Elmer's glue. You're going to want to grab like a tacky glue or some type of a liquid glue.
Mhm.
I don't use Mod on any of these because I don't want them all sticking together. I
Right.
found that by using my Elmer's glue, none of my pages ever stick together. So,
Ah, that's good to know.
and another thing is we don't have to worry about sealing these because there's really nothing to seal. Now, this is another thing I do as I'm cutting or putting down my small ones. I'll go through my page, like you just saw me do. I saw an edge that flipped up. If I
Uh-huh.
feel anything that's not glued down all the way, I'll at this point go through and try to get everything glued down perfectly
Sure.
because I don't want any of that stuff coming up.
Yep. I hear you.
Magazines are fantastic for this. I go through all of my cooking magazines. I go through, anything that comes in the door is not safe from my scissors.
She's a mad woman, mad scientist.
I am. It's so funny. I actually, I think I still have it. My husband, okay, he used to be a firearms dealer, and he got a lot of magazines, with all kinds of guns and stuff in them. And this one was like 2 inches thick, and it had the coolest paper. And
Ah.
when it came in the house, I was like, "You really don't want that, do you?" He's like, "Yeah, I do." I'm like, crap. So once, once he shut his firearm business down, guess what he gave to me?
Oh,
I gotta show it to you. It's really cool.
yeah. I love paper.
And I don't want to offend anybody. This is a firearms catalog. Look at this book. That's how thick it is.
Okay, it'll be just a second. Yeah. Oh, cool.
I actually went through, and this is my en masse journal
Mm-hmm.
that I'm using for Shannon.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's all like a newspaper. It's just a newspaper.
Cool.
It is really cool. So anyways, yeah, anything is game in my house. So I love it. That's my en masse journal. So, okay. Doing our smalls.
Yep.
That looks good right there. All right, I'm done with my smalls. Now I'm going to just cut this piece off the edge because it's annoying me.
I don't want anything annoying us.
It's gone now.
It's gone. Gone.
Sybil, you're right. They were a little bit big. We have even smaller ones, but we're not going to go there on this time. But yeah, these are my small ones. I'll rip them up or rip them in half or.
Probably depends on the size of the book you're working in too, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, oh, here's one that didn't get in the bag. I guess we got to put this one on here. I got some really funky stuff going on this page over here. Nothing looks, see, that's all crazy, right? That's okay. Doesn't need to look right. We'll make it right.
Well, I have seen you make it right, and I'm always amazed, you know, because I look at that and I'm saying, wow, how does she do that?
What the heck is that?
How does she do that? All right,
Just
lost my
play.
glue book here. Whoops. Come back
This
here,
all
Mr.
looks
Blick.
crazy.
But you know,
All right.
I do see a theme there. I do see some colors coming through because you've moved them around the page, like that pink and the turquoise and the yellow and stuff are kind of coming out to me.
And you know what's funny is I didn't intention. I just grabbed what and just started throwing down pieces. So it's not. Yeah, it's not intentional. Nothing on this page is intentional.
But that's the point, is it doesn't have to be intentional to come together.
Exactly. I love yours. Yours looks so uniform to a certain extent.
She's saying that I'm being too controlling here. Let me show you guys.
Yeah, but it's very uniform. It's not chaos like mine is.
Well, it is, but it isn't. You know, yeah. Because that's the way I am controlling. Oh, geez. Where do I want this one?
Hey, Lindy, are you done with that box of scraps I sent you? Or do you need more? I have lots more.
We always have more.
Yeah, exactly. What I have here is these are all cards, just regular deck of cards that I used to put washi on for traveling.
Oh, good idea.
And I've been trying to use them up though. So I'm actually going to take a few of them and use them on here. Let's throw some pinks. Why not? So some odd and ends. I just want to use some of these up. That's why I'm putting them on here. And what a great place to do it other than in your grab and glue, you know? Now,
you know, the other thing I notice is when I am gluing, I tend to, and this is just my thing, I notice a difference between the pages because yours are more chaotic and mine are very linear.
Yes.
Because I tend to think in a linear fashion.
Yeah, yours looks organized. Mine does not.
And that's just the difference in personality, or you know, how our brain works, or you know. So don't, if yours doesn't look like hers or mine or whatever, don't let that intimidate you, because it's your thing.
Absolutely not.
You know?
Absolutely. Do what feels good to you.
Yeah.
If you say, oh, you know, I think that's about it, I don't want to put any more on there, so then don't put any more on there. I do what feels right to me. And I'm glad, Peg, you're not trying to be as chaotic as I am. I'm glad you're doing your own thing, because that's what it's about.
Well, I tend to work that way. You know, I tend to work in my own style. And that's, you know, the thing that you get out of, you know, even taking classes from the masters, is that you're learning a process, but you take it and you make it your own.
Absolutely. Now, when I'm doing these, I don't normally do from start to finish, as you can tell by the books that I have on hand. It really depends on A, my mood, B, how much pain I'm in, as to what part of it I do. So, for example, like I said, these 3 books, especially these 3, are in my tote all the time, and they will be until I finish them. So this one, I've just started putting some different focal pieces on. I've already done the large, I've already done the smalls. Now I'm starting with the focals. So if I'm in the mood to do that, I will. This one is just barely started. So if I just feel like grabbing some scraps and putting them down, that's what I'll do.
Well, and the cool thing about having stuff in process that way is that depending on your mood for the day, you've got things in different stages and you can do whatever it is you want to do that day.
Absolutely. This one I'm starting, see, that one's, that's open. Huh, I didn't do those 2 pages. I didn't know they were there. Huh. Those are cool. Some reason I never noticed those. This one I'm starting to do different things on, putting in some details, playing with the focal points, figuring out where exactly I want the page to go, that kind of thing. I'm putting in little details here and there, like she's got her crown on her head, you know, different stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the last step will be doing the decorating and the bling and the pulling the whole page together.
Okay.
So this one's kind of in that process. So like I said, I normally don't do start to finish. So this is kind of a challenge for me too, which is cool.
Well, I love to give people a challenge. You know that.
So like I said, this is the process. This is what I do. And I found that it's so, hi Rosetta. It's about keeping my mind off the pain. It's about letting go.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
And Pat's coming in late too. Hi, Pat. We're glad you're here. Doesn't matter what time you get here. We're just glad to see people.
And don't mind the craziness. We're doing grab and glue today, which is fun.
Yeah, and you know, if you guys missed something, or the video will be up later today, so you haven't really missed anything because you can see it. If you want to.
I thought you were going to say because we haven't done anything, really.
Or not if you don't. If you're saying, what did they do today? What crazy women are doing?
We're doing My Well-Loved Passion, termed by Gina, my grab and glue, which is so fun.
So would this be a good place to put some ribbon or anything like that? Or
Not
do you
yet.
think I should
That's
wait?
going to be on the details. That's going to be on the details.
Right. I'll put that away.
I mean, if you want to, go ahead. I will not yet, because that will, for me, that'll go in on the details.
That would not be your style.
No.
Okay.
If you want to do it your style, go for it.
Well, I'm following along this time. I might do it in some time in the future, but
I can't wait.
because,
I can't wait to see what you do later.
Well, and I'll post some final shots. We'll get those up, but I'm just saying that because this is my first grab and glue book, my first class, because you're the teacher, I'm going to try to be a good student, which is hard for me.
And do it my way only, darn it.
Well,
Hi,
you can see I don't do that very well.
I don't know. People that are watching, if you notice, I'm not thinking about this. I'm tearing off a piece of washi and I'm throwing it down. It's not like I'm saying, I think it should go right here. No, I'm just tearing off some washi because I want to use it up. What a great way to use it up. And I'm just going to stick it down. I love it. It looks so cool. It looks completely chaotic.
That's what it's about. It's loving your work.
Exactly.
And having fun and just going for it. You know, that's kind of what we do with the Pick-a-Stick Challenge too, is, it is very freeing. So many people are afraid to post their pictures of it because it's like, this is chaos. This is, I don't know what. But the point is you're doing the 10 steps in the order in which they're given, and yeah, they don't always make sense. Sometimes that 10th step is a killer for me because I have to take something that I'm liking and do something that I'm thinking, oh, that's just going to make mud.
Yeah, but it's awesome though.
Well,
Yeah,
and you don't know what it's going to do until you do the process, and that's the learning part of it. So
exactly. Well,
that's
that's
why you get that freeing experience, you know?
absolutely. And I think that's part of what the grab and glue is as well. And the pick
Yeah.
10 that I was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I did my pick 10 a little bit different than you guys do your pick a stick challenge because
Yeah.
my pick 10, I did them exactly in that order and only what was on that stick. And by the end, that was it. That page was done.
Right. Because we do
You
give
know,
them a wild card just because some
yeah.
people are really uncomfortable with, and, you know, because we have a lot of people who are brand new to journaling and
Oh, absolutely.
are totally not comfortable with any of this. And that's why this particular project is a great one for them because it's so freeing. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm
And
beginning to
hopefully,
feel a little freer myself here.
well, this, when you're done with that, I'm actually going to go on to the next step.
Okay, I'll watch.
This next step is all about, or more about focal points.
Okay.
All right. So, what I have in this folder, I have everything from, I don't know, a vase to textures to this came out of an art journal magazine, a newspaper. This is all just some things that I may have that I might put down as an image. That one I love right there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my next step. My next step is I grab out my little pile of stuffs here. And this one's going to go good on that page. I just want something different. No, I don't like her on there. This is where I do a little bit of thinking. It's not, you know, it's not major.
No.
That should go right there just for the heck of it. What's this? That looks like somebody's coat. I'm not sure what that is.
Huh. What
There's a
is
big
that?
old green leaf. I don't know.
Interesting.
Like I said, I cut out anything that looks interesting to me,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether it be, you know, and this one, I don't know what that is. Oh, it must
Texture.
be out of a fashion magazine. So it's somebody's dress or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but look at the texture and the color. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
See, now to me, that would be the first layer, like that big piece back.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I
You got
it's
it in
all
a
about,
different layer. Got it. Got
it's
it.
all about scraps.
Yeah.
I kind of like that there. I don't know why. Kind of like that. Now this is where I do a little bit more planning. It's not I'm not trying to compose a completely I like this thing. This thing's got to go on my page. I'm not composing a make any sense art journal page. The page is not going to tell a story. It's not going to be it's not going to make sense to a lot of people, but that's not what this is about. This is about just taking what you have, playing with it in your grab and glue book,
Mm-hmm.
and just enjoying the process. That's all I'm doing is I'm enjoying the process. So this little thing caught out to me. It says, yeah, I got to go on this page. So I don't know what they are, but they're going to go on that page right there.
Yeah.
Oh, what I got that.
Okay. And I should probably give them a shot of after I'd done that last step of mine. Let me switch
Yeah,
over here.
definitely.
Okay, so this is after I've done the washi tape and all of that kind of stuff.
Isn't
So
that
I'm at
awesome?
that point and I'm ready to move to step 4, I think this is, right?
Yeah, small, medium,
Okay.
large, or medium, small, large, medium,
Large,
and
medium,
small.
small. Got it.
And then that's interesting. You know what? I kind of like that. So again, I'm just pulling all these random pieces and I'm putting them together on a page.
Yeah.
Now, normally when I do this, I just grab my glue and just start slapping things down, which I'm going to do here in a minute because that's the way I do it. Now, I'll save this piece because there's some really cool brick texture.
Uh-huh.
So I'll hang on to that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put these down where I know I want them to go. So this lady, now here, I don't know why, but I'm actually gluing her instead of the page. Don't know why. So she needs to go right there, just because I like her there.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's talking to you. It kind of tells you what to do. I mean, it's an intuitive kind of art because you don't necessarily plan it, but your brain is doing stuff that you just don't even know what it's doing. It just does it on its own.
Exactly. So, and what I'm doing right now is I'm doing what feels right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not thinking, I'm doing. So instead of thinking about, oh, well, you know, I've got pinks on this page, so I really need to find something that goes with the colors in the background. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about what I'm creating. I'm looking at something that looks cool to me, and I put it on a page where I think I like it, and that's where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I have a collage sheet from Robin Reese Smith that I'm tearing pieces out from.
Oh,
she
good.
provided this.
Oh, I like.
So www.robinmarie.com, ROBENMARIE.com. She has given away some nice freebies, so you may want to check her out.
That's
And
cool.
she has beautiful art, so I'm going to use some of it on this page.
Now, some of these things, like I said, where I get a lot of these images from, any magazine or book that's comes to my house that's not, you know, nailed down gets cut up. And I do a lot of this fussy cutting in front of the TV. Like if we're watching a movie or I'm watching Netflix and having a really, really bad day, that's when I'll do a lot of my fussy cutting, because it keeps my hands busy, and yet I'm being productive because I know eventually I'm going to use it for something. So this guy, these guys, or these people, I'm not what I call fussy cutting these. I am just getting more of that white off the side of them. And it doesn't really matter because we're going to come in with pens and decorations and stuff later. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
And I'm just tearing my edges because I'm not trying to be fussy like you are not trying to be fussy. I'm just trying to get something torn out and glued down.
Yep, exactly. So, all right. So these guys are going to go right there just because they can. Did I tell you about the minis? We have minis too in this.
Really? Little teeny tiny ones? Like what size?
Yeah.
How many is mini?
Little teeny tiny mini. I'll show you.
Like 1 inches or 2 inches or 2 inches or?
Let's see. I'll show you the minis. These are the minis.
Oh, wow.
All this. Mini.
Oh, mini things.
This is all mini.
I thought you were talking about mini glue books.
Yeah.
That would be
no. Oh gosh, no. Actually, I probably could do like 20 glue books just with this one little drawer.
Yeah, you
I did
could.
mini glue. That's actually cool. You should do that, Peg. Notice I said you should do that.
Yeah. I heard that. Go ahead. Find something else.
All right. Now for some reason, find something else what for you to do?
Yeah, go ahead and find something else for me to do.
That's
It's all right.
Gina and I are always
Busy
talking.
hands,
It's like, oh, you should
happy
do it.
people, you know.
Exactly. Ignore the pain.
Right.
All right, this is just a little I don't know, microphone. He's cool. He's gonna go on here. Right there. Looks good.
Oh.
All right. What else have we got? See, bunt pans. Eventually, I don't know, they might become somebody's hood. Oh, I kind of like this.
Fun.
I'm crazy. And
I just like the word bunt pan.
but now this is probably out of Cloth, Paper, Scissors or one of those magazines.
Uh-huh.
Now this I will put into my smalls because I just cut these off of this house. So these will go into my small scraps. And I usually do that when I'm sitting right there on the couch. When I do something like this, I'll just automatically take them and put them in the bag.
Okay.
And then that way I'm not getting my sizes too messed up.
Well, and that's also a good project for while you're sitting there, not just the gluing in the book, but the fussy cutting or tearing
Exactly.
stuff out of magazines or yeah.
This is just a little house that says family on it, and I think it needs to go right there.
Gina says she has a mini coming to YouTube soon. All right, we'll be
Ooh.
watching, Gina.
Oh, I think I know which one it is. I think I sent it to her. Oh, beauty in the chaos. Gina says, beauty in the chaos. Always beauty in chaos. I don't like this piece. It's not sticking.
Well, I've had some hot messes. They're not always beauty in the chaos.
You know, it's funny you said that because I was doing, you know what? I don't see any more bigger things I want. So I'm going to put these away. Just to show you guys some of the bigger things. Like I said, this is all magazine stuff, and this was a calendar that I had last year that I cut all these really cool creatures out of. So they'll end up. This came out of one of my books that I was reading. I hate these paper things they put in the middle of them. You know, like the paper ads they put in the middle of novels. I don't like those, so I always tear them out. But yeah, I tear out anything that looks just interesting.
Yeah.
Here's a thing full of moccasins. You never know. They'll work for something. So, you know, when you look at your magazines to cut stuff out, try not to think specifically of, well, I need that tree or I need this bush. Look at everything on the page and look at it differently. Look at it as being texture or as being, well, there's a piece I made. Let's throw that on here. Just look at it differently. Look at all of your magazines, cooking magazines. I get a lot of stuff out of cooking magazines because they'll always say, you know, fresh start or, you know, I don't know. They just have really cool sayings in them.
Yeah.
So definitely look at those different. This is a piece of fabric that I sewed a doily on and some extra little tiny pieces of fabric and a piece of deli paper. This was in my things, and I'm going to put it on. Now, this is what I was talking about. You've got to have some other type of glue besides your glue stick. I usually use this Alien's tacky glue to glue anything heavier down, and this one is almost gone. You know, I hate to throw these away because I know there's a little bit more in them.
I know. You want to get the scraper out and scrape the bottom of the bottle, don't you?
You know, I actually cut those in half and use it that way.
Oh, good idea.
So I'm just going to glue that there because I like it. It looks good, right?
I like it too.
All right. Let me see how you're doing. Oh, I love yours.
Do you?
That is so cool.
I'm just getting my mini stuff out here. That's not exactly mini.
Now, because of the size of this page, I think my minis are going to be a little bit bigger. Maybe. We'll see. Let me see what I've got in here. This is my smaller stuff.
Well, and at what point do you start incorporating things like words and that? Is that the very last thing?
It's the very last thing is words. Well, no, the very last thing on the composition is words. And then we'll also start doing the pulling it all together. So I don't do words yet. I'm still just adding pieces to it. Mini pieces, just a little bit more interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, adding more things to it, I think is the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
So I'm still just adding things.
You're doing your thing.
I'm doing my thing, man.
It's your thing. Now I'm going to break out in
My
song.
thing.
Shell and I at some point usually break out in song here, you know.
Oh, God. You don't want me singing.
It's do what
People will be
you
like,
want to
okay,
do.
bye, 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 everybody. Gina says she uses the Turbo Tacky.
Oh, Turbo Tacky.
That's a good one. I like this paintbrush. This is a paintbrush that I got off some kind of a piece of scrapbook paper, and that just needs to go here somewhere, so that looks like a good spot. So again, I'm not overthinking this. Oh, did you see these? I love these, and I still have yet to use them. These are my carrot people.
Oh, carrot people.
Aren't they cool?
I'm wondering if this
They're
two-way
carrot
glue
people.
would be good.
Oh, too funny.
I'm going to try
See,
it.
this is all just like little die cuts and just little pieces of stuff here and there.
Yeah.
Stick you there. I gotta get off this page so I can see what I need on this page.
I'm trying.
You're fine.
I'm trying this Zig two-way glue to see if it'll,
Oh,
you know, because it's supposed to be pretty tacky. And it's in a nice little pin shape, so I'm thinking it would be good to put these smaller
pieces on
with. Yeah. We'll see. If they come popping off later, I'll use some other kind of glue, right?
There you go. I don't like that there. Let's put that there.
I don't have Turbo Tacky. Is that an Aline?
Huh.
Turbo Tacky?
Probably. Gina, is that an Aileen or is
Gina
that
let us
a
know.
Elmer? Yeah. That there. So again, it's this part again is I'm just putting in little details, little pieces that fit here and there. That ticket will go right there. And again, I'm not overthinking it. I like that number 2. We'll put that right there. That doesn't go on any of it. So this is the part where I'm actually starting to put it together. And then I'll show you my trick where it's all going to come together.
Okay.
Doesn't
I like
matter
tricks.
what it looks like, it'll come together. There's a little bird. I'm going to put this flower on her head. All right, so now I got to glue all this stuff down. Oh, where'd that go? There's a letter E. We'll put that on there somewhere. Now, if I was on the couch and I was working in one of these smaller books, I would actually bring this out with me and put smaller pieces in.
Okay.
But on the bigger book, I'll use my almost small pieces, if that makes sense. Okay. So these are just my miniature pieces. Like this is a piece, I cut something out. So I'll use that on a page.
Well, I think we're learning as we go here.
And really, it's all about what feels good and looks good to you. So I'm going to take this 2. It's going to go right here. I'm going to take this crazy, what do you call this thing? Swirl? What do you call these? I call them swirls. I don't know what you call them. There's a name for this. These things.
Yeah, I know there is a name for them, isn't there?
I can't
Scroll?
Scroll? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
All right. Well, that one's going there.
Whatever you call it works for me.
Okay, that thing.
Yeah. You know, the thingy. The what's it? I use a lot of what's its and thingies.
All right, this butterfly is going to go right here. My E.
I have to hack a butterfly in pieces here.
No, I don't like that there. Let's put it up here.
Whoa. There you are.
This little bug, he's going to go on here.
Flourish. Ian says it's a flourish.
A flourish. Okay. Yeah. Well, that one went there.
And Aline's
Thank you, Ian.
Turbo Tacky. It is Aline's.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. I knew Gina would have an answer for us.
She's always good like that.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know about Gina, be sure and check out both Gina and Cindy are doing, tell me what it is. It's not my year anymore. What are you doing next year?
We're going to be doing My Creative Year next year.
My Creative Year.
Yep. It's a free year-long mixed media group.
Right.
And we will have 3+ teachers. And we're going to keep you guys busy.
So if you're looking to keep busy, boy, have we got stuff planned for you in whatever group you plan to be in, because and that's just it. You know, you don't have to be in just one. You know, maybe you like something that's a project this month in this group, or, you know, you like something over on my group next month, or, you know, I'm not saying you have to do every project every month, because not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly. And we're the same way with My Creative Year and even my year 2017. I mean, if it's something, you know, I may do something people are like, yeah, I'm not interested in that. That's fine. Pick and choose what you want to do. We're going to bring you the inspiration to play with.
Yep.
All right, I got this.
But I am so happy already. I mean, we're only in day 2 of the, what is it, Art Journal Habit 2017.
Yes.
And Yahoo, people are posting already. It's like, yay, this is so much fun.
You know, it's funny. I wasn't going to do it. And then I saw the post with the prompts and ideas started sparking.
There you go.
So I was like, okay, yep, I got to do it.
Well, I love it. I absolutely love to see people playing and creating and having a good time with it.
Diana, I agree. Diana. I agree with Gina. Diana asked, do you think a large or a small page is better for a beginner to work with? And Gina said, don't go too small or large. Start at a medium, which is like an 8x10 or a 5x7. And I agree with that.
Good tip.
You know, or if this is, what is this? Let's see how big this is. Let's see what this thing is. This is a 10 by 6 by 10, 10 by 6. And this is actually quite a large page to start with. So I agree. If you have any smaller junk journals around, something like this, this is better to start with because you don't have so much of a space to try to figure out what to do with. You know, it's so fun. I love doing these. It's crazy.
Well, you are the master. You have this down.
Thank you.
Yeah, I should measure
I
this
just
one.
enjoy it.
Let me see how big this is. This one is, this is about 8 by 5. So, and to me, this is a good size.
Yeah,
to start with for, yeah.
To know what you're doing with it. And again, it all, you can do it all in steps. It does not all have to be done on the same day that you're sitting down doing it. That's just, doesn't have to be done that way. It's anytime. You can just pick up your book anytime and play around with it.
Yeah. And okay, that's nice too, because this is a good size for lap work.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. All right. So we've got more of our focal points on here, right? We've done a few little things here and there. Now, this bag that I was talking about, this is one of the ones that goes with me everywhere I go on vacation. This has tags in it. So if I decided I wanted to do a tag on the page, it's got little bits and pieces of ribbons and fibers, which is what I'm going to get out next to do. It also has, I call this bling, just little bits and pieces, buttons and sequins and little flowers, and your more dimensional stuffs is in here, right? More buttons, little bitty seashells, that kind of stuff. So that is in here. We're going to be doing those as well. This is miniatures. See the little tiny dots? Yeah, I know I'm crazy. I save everything. Oh well. This is a little dot I punched out of something. This is a little tiny butterfly that I punched. These are all the mini miniatures. And then I also have this full of fabric pieces. Do any fabric on this today, but you can also use fabric pieces on your journals.
Mm-hmm. And what do you recommend to glue your fabric with?
Aleene's tacky glue.
Okay.
That's what I use for all of that. I don't use, these are my two staples. I use my Elmer's glue sticks and I use my Aleene's tacky glue.
Okay.
Anything that has some type of a weight to it goes to Aleene's. I just automatically. So now I'm going to grab some of my fibers that I have in here. Just going to pull out a handful.
Oh, Sybil. Sybil says I'm messing up today's journal page. No, you're not. It's a process. It's a process.
Have fun. Play with it.
Yeah.
There is no messing up. It's just fun. I got this piece of string here. So this string is intriguing me.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, just because I want it to, I am going to throw some Aleene's tacky glue right here on this lady's dress, and I'm just going to do a little bit down here.
So is this part of that trick you were talking about?
Nope, that comes last.
Oh, okay.
We'll bring it all together.
Okay.
So this is just, we're still decorating the pages. We're just kind of gluing the pages still.
Okay.
This is part of that trick, yes, but I just want to bring some things together. I want it to look, I don't know, fun.
Okay.
I like this piece of orange, so this is going to go down there. So what I'm going to do.
So the textural element you're using as a tie it together element?
That's part of the tie it together, yes.
Okay.
And then what's actually going to tie it together is markers, and I'll show you how that's
okay.
So right now I'm still adding interest to the page is what I call it.
All right.
So grabbing and gluing, and again, it doesn't have to make sense. That's not what this is about. It's about using up little tiny supplies and creating and being free, not having to worry about the outcome, not worrying about, you know, oh, is somebody going to like this? It doesn't matter.
Would this be a good place for rub-ons?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think I'll throw some rub-ons on there.
Go for it. Now I got this other little piece here. I don't know what I want to do with it yet, but we're going to take a little piece of it. Figure it out. Kind of like this little texture I've got here. So I'm just going to add a little bit more ribbon to here. And again, I'm not overthinking it. I'm not saying, well, geez, I don't want to put the ribbon there because it'll cover up the paintbrush and it's not the right color. I don't care about any of that. I'm just adding more interest to the page and just enjoying it. Having fun hanging with my friend Peg.
Yep, we like hanging. It's always fun to get together with friends and make art.
Yes, it is. All right, what else do I want on here? I think I got enough ribbon. So we'll stick that back in.
I think I need scissors for this.
Might need scissors.
Well, I'm going to my rub-ons now.
Hey, Ian, that's your challenge. Ian says, how about a micro book smaller than a mini book?
Ooh.
Okay, Ian. Got to see that micro book. That's your challenge.
Yeah, I've seen some of those.
Right,
those are pretty cool.
Aren't they? I have in this little pouch a bunch of odd and end stuff, right? There's a flower somebody made. I'll put that on here somewhere. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of going through and what looks cool to me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just picking a few things out. Well, I like that dragonfly. I've got a clothespin. I have a sticker heart. What else? There's another funky flower. What else we got down in here? There's a butterfly. just pulling out what looks good, what just is kind of talking to me. There's a blue one. All right, let's use that clothespin. Put that back in there.
Well, you are conjuring up a lot of songs in my head today.
I'm making you sing.
Well, I'm what's talking to me, and I'm thinking jive talking.
Gonna be singing up a storm.
Well, that's the problem. You can't just turn on the music on YouTube, but I
No.
always have it going in my head anyway.
That's one of the things I'm gonna cover up that thing where it says family just because I can. That's one thing I really don't like about YouTube is the fact that, I love to create and have music on. And, unless we do the, what do you call it, the narrating voiceover kind of stuff, which I don't do,
Yeah.
I wish they'd just let us create and have our music and have fun and not worry about all that other stuff.
Yeah, I understand. I understand the whole license issue and all that, but it does kind of stifle some of our way of doing things.
It does. Now I'm just using my Aleene's tacky glue and I'm putting on these little dimensional pieces just because I can. I don't know where he wants to go.
Ian, 1 inch square.
Inchies. Boy, that's definitely mini, mini, mini. That'd be a hard book to do, even with all the junk I have. All right. Now I've got my little embellishment things on here. I'm not going to use the minis and I'm not going to use the fabric. So I am going to shut this up. However, I do want bling.
Oh, bring on the bling, babe.
Bring on the bling. You know what? We didn't do any words yet either, so we're going to do those next. But first I'm going to do the bling.
See, here we go again. Now the song is "It's Your Bling, do what you want to do." I know I'm crazy, right?
Will I be the next week's guest artist? Oh, will Ian be?
I think he's talking about some book that I think you got him going on the mini thing.
Yeah, somebody asked him if he was going to be the next guest artist.
Well, Ian needs to put his channel up there so that people can find him. Put your channel up, Ian.
Now, I've got this little jar of bling, and all I'm doing is just kind of grabbing what comes out and putting it on the page. So I got this little blue thing. Let's stick that right here in this. And what it will do, whoops, there's that little flower I wanted to put on or somewhere. That looks like a good spot. I'm just adding more stuff to the page.
It's all about more stuff, isn't it?
Yep. You don't ever stop until you say, okay, that's enough. It's done.
And how do you know when you get to that point?
Because I'll look at it and say, yeah, there's nothing else I can put on this page to make it look cool.
Okay.
And I'm not there yet. So I'm still adding.
Well, and that's all part of that trial and error and working through things, because a lot of people that are doing the challenges are saying, yeah, I went to step 6 and then it went to the beyond stage. And that's part of the learning process too, is that you need to know when to stop, when you are at the, oh, if I do one more thing, it's going to become a hot mess.
But you also need to know when to work through the hot mess.
Yep, that too.
And come out on the other side.
And that's just it. You can work through some of those hot messes, because
absolutely.
Good grief. We've all been there and said, oops, shouldn't have done that. Now, how am I going to fix it?
Exactly. It's funny. I did that yesterday with an art journal page. I love the background that I had on, and then I started adding stuff, and I didn't like it, and then I took stuff off and I finally ended up covering the whole page up. I was like, yeah, this
I've done that.
It was just
so don't feel like it's a loss. It's only paper.
Exactly. Actually, the one I was working on was one of the very first journals I ever made, which was made out of newspaper. Okay, so I've added
That's
a little.
interesting. Newspaper, huh?
Yeah, that's how I made one of my first journals.
Wow.
I glued 3 pieces of newspaper together,
Uh-huh.
and then I sewed it into a cereal box.
Fun.
Interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I am at the place where I'm going to say stop.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I got to add words. Sorry.
Uh,
Saw my words sitting here.
she was at the place.
Yep, but not anymore. Oh, I like this. This says Grammy and I. Oh, look at that. Won't that look cute? Grammy and I right
Okay,
there.
so I think I just
Oh, I
need
love it.
I'm like you. I can stop at this point and go to words and things. So let me show you.
You want to add any bling?
Well, I'm not sure. If I add bling, I think I might do it with a pen.
Uh-huh. Like glitter markers
I
or
think I'm gonna get my Wink of Stella
there you go.
and add some bling in that fashion, but
Before you do that, let's do the next step and then you can add your bling.
oh, okay.
All right. So I'm just putting a couple words on here. Over here I put Grammy and I. And this is just says artist. This came off something that I bought. I'm going to stick that right there. Okay. That's it. That's the only 2 words I'm going to put on here.
Okay.
And again, words, 90% of them come out of magazines. I just, anything that I think I might be able to use on an art journal page, I cut out. All right, these I just want to move over to the side. Now, the last step is my magical step. We're going to bring all of this creative chaos together. And everybody can do it because everybody has a Sharpie. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to move junk so I can move my book around. And I'm going to start pulling this page together. And believe it or not, how I do it is pretty much by outlining almost everything. So I've got all this chaos of the different pieces of paper and everything, right?
Uh-huh.
So what I'm going to do, and again, this is fantastic when sitting on the couch in pain management time. I am just going to start. Oops, that's an old piece of paper. I'm going to start outlining everything. And what you're going to see is that this page will come together.
Oh, I see. You're outlining because
Everything.
before I do the glitter because you don't want it to move the.
Exactly. You can do your glitter after
Just
you
trying
go.
to explain to the group here what's going on.
Yeah, sometimes I'm not good at words.
Okay, I got my words. So what I'm saying is, I guess she is learning to fly.
Woohoo! And you are. I should have put a little bling right there. I might go back and do that just to pull that flower out a little bit.
So now I need a marker.
I always use, I've done it in other colors, but I'll be honest, it doesn't make things pop the way the Sharpie does.
Uh-huh.
I like using the Sharpie because it seems to make everything come together into a more cohesive piece, if that makes sense.
Okay. I think I'm going to use a Posca.
Go for it. Where's my, I'll use the tissue. Oh, something on the end of my Sharpie.
I like a paint pen for some reason.
Go for it.
And when you go to outline, do you start with like your topmost images, or you just start in a corner, or how are you doing
I
that?
start in the very top and I work my way down, because if I don't, I end up with Sharpie all over my fingers and then they
Ah, good
smudge.
point.
So I always start from the top and work my way down.
Uh-huh.
And now, like these people, remember I didn't cut all the white off?
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter. I'll just make it black. And they'll just blend into the page.
Well, and
Of
I'm
course.
kind of using the white as a frame. I'm putting the black on the inside
Mm-hmm.
and using the white more as a frame to the image.
Oh, there you go.
Just the way
Now,
my
once I,
brain is working, you know.
nothing wrong with that. Once I get all this done, then I pull out my Poscas.
Ah,
I don't like the
and
white on that.
why then? What are you doing with the Posca at that point?
Then I add my details.
Ah,
So I'll show you. Okay, I didn't like that white on that arrow, so I'm covering it up.
okay. So you're using it more to block stuff out with too.
Anything that I don't like, things that may not make
A
sense on
good
the page,
point. Yeah.
I use it that way. Like this little birdie, I got to get him to bring him out. So,
Now I'm finding this very relaxing. You're right.
mm-hmm.
This is, yeah, not a real heavy, you got to think about this a lot kind of
Mm-mm.
thing.
You just, it's, I found it very soothing when it comes to pain management, to be able to just sit here and just really, you're not thinking a lot about what you're doing. You don't have to, oh, I need maroon or I need pink to go with that because it won't look good. That's not what this is about. Grab and glue is about taking your leftovers, your scraps, putting them down, adding a little bit of focal images to it toward the end, and then just pulling it all together. And you get such unique, beautiful, I think, art journal pages that are just not like anybody else's that you see.
I think you're right. This is a very unique process. And because there are so many ways of doing this, it truly is your own process.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way my page is going to look like your page, is going to look like Gina's page, is going to
Nope.
look like Ian's page. It's just individual because of the way you put your hand to it.
Exactly. And again, it's very calming. You don't have to think about the process. You don't have to think about the result. Gina was calling it Zen art, and she's right.
Yeah,
It,
that's a
it
good
does.
word.
It will put you into that Zen state of mind, especially this part of it. And this is one of the parts I enjoy the most, is going through and just outlining everything, making them pop a little bit, and um, just bringing it all together. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you first looked at my page, it was complete chaos, wasn't it? It was
It was quite busy, yeah.
chaos. But, you know, and this page, does it mean anything? Absolutely not. It doesn't have a prompt. You can't say it's a this style journal, or you can't say, well, it's a page about, two people that fell in love and had kids or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's
Right.
no rhyme nor reason to it. It's just is. And that's what I like the most about it.
Okay, so we're kind of getting to the top of the hour again.
All right, well, give me 1 minute and I'll show you the
So
last thing I do with these, and then you will have the whole process.
we'll be finishing up, and then if you guys have any ideas about what you would like to see on this channel in the future, be sure and leave it in the comments so that we can work on getting our content out there for you for the things that you want to see. And be sure and join our challenge this month for the art journaling pages. This would be a good way to do your pages for the month. You could just, create your backgrounds and things and whatever you want to do. So,
Absolutely. And Peg, thank you so much for asking me to join you. I've really enjoyed this. This has been fun.
well, I'm so glad you could join us. We appreciate you coming and filling a spot for us because, we really have a need, and not everybody is willing to just step up like you did. So
Well, thank you.
we appreciate you.
I don't mind. It's fun. This is where I take my paint pens or my markers, or you can use Sharpies. I got to do something with that black. I don't like that black around there, so I'll have to fix that. But and this is where I just put in details. I'm a dot person. I don't know why. I love adding dots. So if you notice, a lot of my pages will have dots on them.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, this just gives it a little bit more of its own touch, so that it feels more like something I created. You can do lines and dashes. You can do whatever you want. I like to do dots.
Well, and that's your thing, that's what makes it you. So,
And to me, that's what brings it together for me. Need bigger dot makers and all that.
and I like that idea. So I have my Poscas still out here, so I'm going to add some dots to mine. Let me see
Now
if I can get in here closer. There we go.
I also love these Jelly Roll pens, the ones that are just glitter. I will take these pens also and just add some glitter to the page.
Oh, Jelly Roll are fun,
Yeah, I love Jelly Rolls.
especially on those darker pages.
Yep. But I just add some glitter here and there so that when the page is looked at, you get this little bitty sparkle of glitter.
Mm-hmm.
And one more. I'm lacking my black. And we will have a completed, I haven't done this one yet, but that one will do. When I'm on pain management, we have a completed grab and glue page. And
Well, and this is a first. Like she said, she doesn't do them start to finish. So, yay! We went through the whole process start to finish, and that's awesome.
Isn't that fun? And you didn't have to think about it really.
Not really. This
You
was fun.
And I mean,
I enjoy learning new things. So
there's so many other ways. I mean, so many other things you can add to these pages. You used rub-ons. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll add just more words in the background. If I have too many words and I need to start using some up, this is a great place. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate that. She said these pages don't look mindless to me because they are so beautiful when you're done. They're just a lot of fun. I really, but like I said, if you have ribbons that you have way too many scraps, so do a ribbon page and then put your, focal point on it or some scrap papers on it, whatever the case may be.
yeah.
It's just a great place to use up all those little oddities of things that you may not use in a regular journal page. yet we all have them. It's fun.
It is fun.
So cool. So
Loving it. You do a great job on these.
And when you keep going, you'll end up with little books like this that, see, some of these I didn't outline, but these are smaller, so I didn't really have to. This is a piece of garbage. You know, just have fun with it. This is an index card that I had sewed some fabric onto. So I stuck down this piece of painted cereal box, couple tags. This is left over from a punch, and you know, stamped words. But just to give you ideas of, you know, how to use up that stuff. Little pieces of torn fabric, some leftover wrapping paper. This came off a piece of a child's wood toy. I just tore the paper off the top. Doily, washi tape, you know, just markers. Spiral thing. This piece of die cut that I was never going to use anywhere else. So, you know, just play with them. This was a stamp that I did that didn't turn out quite the way I wanted it to. You know, anything. I love this set of stamps. This this Broome County Fair ticket, it's so funny because my husband and I were coming back from my parents one day, and we stopped in this gas station, and this was laying on the ground right in front of the door. And
Yeah.
I was like, I almost bent down and picked it up. I was like, no, I can't do that. So it was still there when I came back out. Well, guess what? It came home.
I bet. Yeah.
So that's where I found that. But yeah, it's just piece of lace.
Okay, well, I think we're at a stopping point. I want to thank everybody for having been here today. You want to take a last look at Cindy's here, and Cindy, I want to thank you once again for having shown us this process. I think it's an awesome process, and I hope to see a lot of glue books in the future.
Absolutely.
You know, be sure and post your photos in the groups or on Instagram, or, you know, we should create a hashtag for glue book.
You know what? Maybe I wonder. I'll have to check and see if there's a hashtag available for grab and glue.
Yeah,
Because
get a hashtag for grab and glue. We'll put it in the description below so you guys can grab it and use it. And that way we can find your stuff on social media. And that's about it for me. Anything else, Cindy?
No, I'm all set. Thank you so much for having me. I've really enjoyed this, and I can't wait to see your guys' pages. Like I said, this is just a very relaxing thing to do. So, and yours is phenomenal, Peg. I love it.
Oh, thank you, dear.
Love it.
Well, it's all because of you. So,
I hope you guys enjoyed.
yeah, I hope so too. So, till next time, bye for now.
Bye.